Well, I'm selling my plane, everybody, for reasons that I will get into at some point in the future. But basically, it's time to move on, unfortunately. As much as I love this plane, I just really can't justify keeping it, which is very sad, but exciting times ahead in the future, and that sort of discussion will come at a later date. I've had it posted on Barnstormers for a while. I've had, not a while, maybe like a week and a half. And several people have contacted me with questions, wanting pictures and things. And anyways, I decided I'd make a video because then I can just share this video and everybody can see it. And I'll have a lot of up closes and things like that. I'm going to do some outside stuff. Then I'll take the cowl off and the wheel pants and zoom in there. And then I'll have a look inside, and that will be the plane video. Anyway, so also I'm in the hangar because I had it out in the sun and it was all this glare and really dark shadows, so the hangar actually seems to be a bit more universal light, so I'm going to try this in here. So it's an RV3. It is completed in 1983, one of the very early ones. Despite that, it has wing tanks, one on each side. There's no fuel inside the tank, or inside the fuselage at all. 2 wing tanks for a total of 30 gallons. That says 58 liters, but it's 30 gallons, 15 on the side. The propeller is Kato 3-blade. Kato makes propellers specific to RV models. This is the RV3 one, and when they make a propeller, you can request how you want it pitched. This is a high-speed top-end propeller. Basically, the maximum that they would make it. Yeah, it is in pretty great condition. The only marks. So it's got this tape on it, and the only marks are from when the tape gets replaced. And since I've had it, I've replaced the tape once, and I've seen, there's some bugs too, I guess. I've seen some, there's a big one. That's the big one there. The paint is off. That came off when I took the tape off, which is really unfortunate. But as far as actual shape goes, it's in perfect shape. I also have a big roll of this tape, which I will give away with the plane. It is a like homing, O320, but there is a fuel injection kit on it. It's aftermarket. It's not an IO320. It's an O320, but I will take the cover off and show you that a little later. The cowl is held on by piano hinges. They go all the seams. Takes 30 seconds. You can take the whole thing off, and maybe 5 minutes to put it back on because you gotta line it up. It's easier if you have 2 people, but you kind of get used to it with one. The cowling does line up pretty good. Like it all fits together pretty well. So that's good. And the oil door here, there's a little thing down here you pull out, and that pulls a long coil which accesses the oil here. There is a heater, an engine heater attached to the oil pan, and engine is right there. Yeah. Anyway, that's that. The oil I use is this Aeroshell 80 and 100 for depending if it's winter or summer. If you live south of I don't know where, you probably don't need to bother with the winter stuff, but it gets kind of cold here, so I switch it up in the winter. Let's see. Wheel pants, very standard. The gear legs were replaced along with the engine mount maybe 7 years ago, something like that. There's fiberglass over it, obviously, and there are stiffeners. For anybody who knows about RV3s, the legs tend to wobble a little bit. These ones do have stiffeners. You can't see them because they're completely encased in this, which doesn't come off. But they are in there. The wing itself it's an RV3A, which means it has had the airworthiness directive applied, making it an RV3A. That was done in 1997, and the wings came off completely, and that service bulletin, or not, airworthiness directive was implemented, and yeah, that's it, I guess. There are nav lights and landing lights. The landing light does have a wig-wag. I can show you that. I will show you that once I get around to that side. Inside of this wingtip, there is a VOR ILS antenna. There was a time when this airplane was equipped for IFR with ILS and VOR. That radio is long gone, but the antenna remains, and still works. I assume, I haven't used it, but the previous owner still had that radio in it, and it worked when he had it. But my radio, I don't have a VOR or ILS in there right now, so it's just sitting there. Ailerons, not much to say about the ailerons. Flaps are manual. I'll show you that. The canopy opens from the other side. There is a foot thing on each side. Golf Golf Romeo Victor. If you are Canadian, congratulations. This is an excellent call sign. Golf Romeo Victor is easy to say, and it ends in RV, which is super cool. That is the ADS-B. Can you see that little tiny antenna? That's the ADS-B in antenna. The ADS-B out antenna is over here. May as well show you that while I'm thinking of it. That's that one here. And the curved one is the radio antenna. There's a strobe light underneath there, or beacon, whatever you want to call it. The one that flashes. As for the tail section, has this like pool ball kind of a graphic. It's cool, I guess. The horizontal and vertical stabilizers and the rudder and elevator have all, like, there's a piece of plastic here, right? This is metal and this is plastic. It's all like I don't know, filled, I guess. So there's like no seams anywhere, which is very nice. There is a, what do you call it, service bulletin to inspect the rear spar here. It's very easily done when you remove this. There's holes in the ribs of this horizontal stabilizer, and I got a borescope from Amazon for like $30, which you just plug into your cell phone. It has a light on it. It's easy to see. This one has no cracks whatsoever. It's in perfect shape, but it is easy to inspect. Some other models, I don't know which ones, but on Vans Air Force, people were complaining about trying to see it. It's very easy to see on this one. The elevator is not much to mention with the elevator, I guess. It's just there. Rudder. So this rudder was popped out before. There was a crack in the rudder spar right here. So in order to fix that, this fairing had to come off, so the rivets had to be taken out and then replaced. Which is too bad because it was really pretty like all the other ones. Now you can see some rivets. It's a shame. Yeah, it's been repaired. So there's a new doubler in. It's riveted in place. So the crack was stop filled or stop drilled, and there's a doubler there. The tail wheel does not unlock like a lot of tail wheels. Once you push so far in a certain direction, it'll like disconnect. This one doesn't. So this is like the lightest possible tail wheel, I guess, that they could find. So when you're on the ground, you can disconnect them from the actual rudder, so it'll spin freely and it won't get bungled up. Whereas on most tail wheels, once you push it so far, it'll just kind of break loose. But this plane is it's definitely on the light side, so I guess they're trying to save weight. And this is the setup. It's kind of a pain in the butt, honestly. Well, I mean, it takes 3 seconds, but you gotta remember it. That's the hard part, is remembering to do it. I did forget before, it just kind of goes around and the chains get crossed, and then you just pick it up. I mean, you can pick it up easily. I am bent over right now, and you can just like, you just pick the whole thing up. It's really, very light tail. Trim tab for the elevator. I don't know why the bottom is painted white. Stop. I don't know why the bottom's painted white. There you go. GGRV again. Flap, aileron. This is the same as the other side. This is a camera mount, which I had for YouTube purposes, which I'll take off, I guess, because nobody probably wants that. Pitot tube's down there. It is heated. And second fuel tank. These work really well, these covers. Simple, and they're all metal. They're like the old ones, and now they're kind of plastic, but they work really good. This is fresh air to the cockpit. This is outside air temperature probe. Yeah, so the paint, like, it looks pretty good, right? Like, it looks good from 10 feet away. It's really shiny. It's actually kind of dirty. I was going to wash it today, but the hose has no pressure. So anyway, this is the dusty version. It gets even shinier. Anyway, it looks pretty good, but when you do get up close, it's not perfect. And this is one of the worst areas, so you can see what I mean. So the paint is not perfect. There are some bubbles that haven't popped. They've been like that since I got it, so I don't know how long they'll actually last. I mean, for the most part, it's pretty nice paint, but it's not perfect. It was painted, I think it was painted in like the early 2000s or like 2005 or 7 or something like that. This is a slightly different color. And this whole thing was primed white. So this has white under it, this does not, which is why this is a slightly different shade of, I don't know, red or orange or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, yeah, you can see more paint missing there a little bit, like the high traffic areas, I guess. It is a slider. You can see inside the little thing. If anybody's looking at RV3s, a slider is 1,000 times better than a tilt. You don't have to close the canopy until you're about to hit the gas to take off. This tilting canopy business is for the birds, in my opinion. But it is what it is. This one's a slider. Oh, here's the GPS, by the way. So there's a WASS, WASS WASS GPS, which is part of the Dynon. It's not an IFR navigator. There is no like IFR navigator. This, I'm gonna get the color to switch here. Actually, I'm gonna push it out into the sun. That's better. So, this hole right here, this was cut for a Garmin Navigator. It'll fit a 650, a GPS 175, any of those smaller navigators, it'll fit, screws and all. This panel was cut by Aircraft Specialty. It was powder coated and cut by them. And they got the template for this hole directly from Garmin website. So if you wanted to add one, it's easily done. Switch-wise, we have master, alternator, avionics, fuel pump, pitot heat, landing light on and wigwag, and then nav lights. This is a double, up or down. Fuel pump works if you listen. Anyway, and actually we'll just turn it on, I guess. I do have videos of this thing in action, I think. Anyway, I won't get into how all this works because Dynon and lots of people have talked this to death on YouTube. If you're interested in Dynon, it's the HTX. There is an autopilot transponder, ADSB in and out, radio, yeah, and 2 screens, GPS. You can upload from ForeFlight or any of those navigating apps on your iPad wirelessly. My database is not current anymore. It is a touchscreen. I hope this is coming out. My GoPro is just like completely eclipsed by the sun. But it is a touchscreen. They both are. It's amazing, really. Like the avionics are, I don't know, top tier, really. There's nothing you can really get in GA that's better, except for like, I don't know, G3000 or something. But there's definitely nothing that will fit in this airplane that's better. That is for sure. Anyway, ignition's over there. Radio, your headset's over there. This is not connected anymore. This was going to be a alternate air. This is what this is. It's an alternate air for static switch. It's not connected to anything. I never did get around to making it IFR, so that just does nothing. This is a dimmer for the thing. I have it turned off in the settings because the out of the box one, there's a little photo lens there to tell how bright it is. It works perfectly, and turning this just is annoying. Like, you don't have to do it. I turned it off because I use the photo lens because it works better and you don't have to bother messing with it. The seat itself is pretty comfy, I guess. There's a Crow harness. It is extremely long. I'll cut to another video, hopefully, of me stretching my legs out. It is extremely roomy, and sometimes some RVs have a radio stack between the legs. That's garbage. It creates a lot of extra room to have that there, but having this wide open, it's super comfortable. You can sit in this plane all day long. I've done it many times. I'll turn that off. I've done it many times. It's super comfy to be able to cross your legs and move around. Turning off in 60 seconds. Each one of these has a 30-minute battery, but I'm not going to run these for 30 minutes. But they each have their own battery. It'll even run the autopilot, though not for very long. Autopilot servos, one is right here beneath this carpet piece. The push rod goes to the bottom of the stick. It's only about that long. It's pretty convenient. The other autopilot servo is right back there. It connects to the bell crank. The stick has a push rod, goes back, connects to a bell crank right there, which goes back to the elevator. The other servo is right there. To update these guys, I put a UPS, what is it called? USB extension. There's one. The other one is there somewhere. There it is. Actually, they still have USBs in them. To update the databases and to update the software. So you don't have to take the screens out. You can just use those, and they're marked 1 and 2. I'm going to take those out, actually, because why wouldn't I? There is a shelf, a little cubby here for whatever you want. That's just my fuel sump thing. Over here we have the flaps, which are manual, right here. 3 notches and closed completely. This is trim. the trim looks weird. You push it, like you can kind of like roll it with the side of your hand, and it works really nice actually, because your throttle hand is here, and then you can just like inch it back and forth with your throttle hand. Works really good. Mixture, breakers, left tank and right tank, fuel selector right there. It's got like a fabric type material. It's pretty nice, it matches the seat. The baggage is fantastic, quite honestly. I hope I'm getting this. I can't see this screen because the sun is just right on it. But anyway, the baggage is very large. I keep this bag. This is the rain cover, or whatever cover. It comes with it. I only use it a couple times when I've parked away from home. There are cowl plugs, shocks, tie downs, that kind of stuff. ELTs here also. Max is 30 pounds, but it's humongous. Like, it'll take a lot of, it's a huge volume, but only 30 pounds. Yeah. That, what else? Can I think of anything else? Maybe not. Okay, so here we have the stuff removed. Start with the wheels, I guess. So the wheels are brand spankers. You can see the little nubs are still on them. They went on this spring. These are Airtrax 505s. The wheel pants attach on there. Fiberglass covers here on the landing gear. And I'll show you the other one too, I guess. Why not? Same thing over here. Yep, two wheels. Okay, so this is an 0320 with a fuel injector kit added. The actual model is here. I don't know if you can read that. In case you cannot read that, it is a 0320 E2D. Things of note, I suppose. All of the fuel and oil lines are new last year. These are Teflon hoses with the fire hose integrated. So they're supposed to last the life of the engine. Oil pressure gauge is brand new with the panel. Fuel pressure is also, it's on the other side. Here is a slick magneto. Here is a, I'll come over, Surefly magneto, which is electronic magneto that was added last year also. Oil cooler is extra large. I have to usually cover it up because it doesn't get that hot here, so I sometimes will take this rubber flap here and pull it open so that not as much air goes through, because a lot of time it will run too cold, but just pulling that flap up tends to do the trick. I do that when it's colder. In Canada, we don't deal with too hot of weather, so cold weather is more of a factor than the hot, really. Again, oil line, fuel lines, all replaced with this Teflon. That's the electronic fuel pump. Mechanical fuel pump is right there. Right there, you can see that there. They both work perfectly fine. This is the heater muff. That's what these pipes are for, these hoses here. The air runs over the exhaust, and there's a pull switch in the cockpit to let that warm air in. Gascolators here. Yeah, starter is new last year, brand new, nice and shiny. Baffled is in good shape. Yeah, no issues with the baffle. Cooling is not an issue, and I know you're like, oh, it's Canada, like it's always freezing. You know, we get 30, 35 degrees, I'll fly no problem, which is, I don't know what in Fahrenheit, but it's pretty hot, and there's no issues. Battery also new last year. Very fancy giant zip tie holding it in place right now. Yeah. Oh, I was going to show you the sensor also. Oh yeah, fuel pressure sensor here is also new with the Dynon panel. Anyway, that is about it, I guess. I mean, it's not pretty, you know, it is an engine. It was originally in a Cessna 172. The Cessna got it out and it came in here. Yep. Anyway, that's the engine. Alternators there. There's a new alternator belt. I had the propeller off last year. I replaced the oil, what is it, the crankshaft oil seal. I replaced maybe 2 years ago actually, because it was had a slow leak. So I had that off. So anyway, I replaced this belt at the same time because taking the propeller off is a pain in the neck. So got a new belt at the same time. Yeah, I guess that's it.